Coco, and you're inside tennis with the Cause.
Well, here we are, Rick Workman. Usually we're with this hat, but we're dealing with a different age group. Rick, this is a terrific event. Let's talk about title sponsors. Raymond James.
Oh, Raymond James is a great tennis player. He was a member at my club in Eastlake, and we would play doubles together. And he's passed the reins on to Paul Riley, and just a great company. And they're huge supporters of tennis, and we thank them so much for that, for sure. And great event here. This is not the Little Mo. This is super senior Larry Turville. St. Pete Tennis Club, heritage, history. It's just an amazing event.
And you got a touch of Courier. The program continues, taking kids, getting them introduced to the game. Very impressive on that side.
Absolutely. Jack Bailey here working with the Courier Kids Foundation. They have a program for the kids in the community. Half the kids in their program are on scholarship, and which is phenomenal, and it's nice to have the old support of Jim Courier as well.
Absolutely. What an all-American guy that guy will always be. Now let's talk about Madison Keys. What a year she had, but she's giving back already.
Yes. Many of you may not know the club got hit very hard in the last two hurricanes. These fences were gone, the material was gone, and so they've been working hard to put this club back together for this tournament, and it looks marvelous. And Madison donated $10,000 just to help to restore the club, which is phenomenal. Thank you, Madison.
Very well done and very impressive. I like the tradition that's here. This, as I mentioned to Jack, this is a landmark facility.
It's been here a while, and they have 20 tennis courts, beautiful setting to watch matches, to sit under the oak trees. Wonderful place.
Rick, always great catching up with you. We'll do our Little Mo thing for certain, but glad to see you added one more tournament onto your 175 a year that you already do.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Well, home has been Germany. Home now is St. Petersburg. What was the move to bring you here to St. Petersburg?
Well, I ended up in Florida, going to college and playing college tennis.
Where was that?
I was in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh, Flagler College.
Flagler College.
Beautiful, beautiful indeed.
Yeah.
How much do you still love this game?
I like to call this the royal game. And it's a great reason to stay healthy. And again, wonderful camaraderie, as we've seen at an event like here today.
Wow, what a treat running into this guy, Eric. Let's go back a bit because your dad was most influential in your life, in your tennis, but he educated the tennis world with his magazine. What did that do to Coach Father Bob back then?
Well, it certainly gave him a purpose and gave him a drive, gave him something to do in town. You know, he loved tennis so much that it gave him the opportunity to stay with it for a long time, and it was really a quality piece, and people in the town enjoyed it too, I think. I think it was really nice.
I enjoyed it because he got me launched as a journalist, and it was fun tracking everyone down, following your dad also. Looking back, growing up, who were inspirations in your life, not as coaches, but what players back then were you looking at, hoping you could get close to playing at that level?
Yeah, well, nobody too close, but the people I loved watching the most, well, Agassi was always my favorite in the second half of his career because I just loved his tenacity and his footwork and things. You know, as a big person, footwork is really challenging, so it was really fun to watch him play and put balls in play. And then as it trends, what would you say, as it progressed and we got into players like Federer, you know, and Feliciano Lopez and all the guys that had sliced backhands, that really helped give me focus on that. Even with a sliced backhand, I could compete.
What about this guy right behind us, Larry Turnbull? What has he given senior tennis and keeps giving it with this tour?
Well, I was very fortunate to play an exhibition with Larry, so I got to see him firsthand on the court. And for a guy his size, and for the way he covered the court, he was quite the, he was one of those gentle giants, but very tenacious on the court. And he really gave tennis the purpose. It gave us some direction with this circuit. Well, I think all the players love it. I certainly love coming out and seeing everybody, and I know they do too. A lot of these people really, really enjoy the camaraderie of coming out and just playing with people that we've known for decades. You know, some of us since college, some since high school. So it's really an opportunity to see everyone from everywhere.
I like the idea these people who play tennis at a rec level can come out, watch you, and try to imitate that. Do you realize those people are doing that? They're saying, I wish I had that drop shot.
The club that I play at, Plantation in Venice, Florida, it's funny because a lot of the senior members, they watch us play and then they say exactly the same thing. I'm going to try this shot. I'm going to try that shot. So that's what makes it fun.
What's this game still mean to you? What's the fellowship? What's the competition?
All right, well, that's full transparency. I can't hit a drop shot, so they're not learning that one from me. But as far as still playing tennis, you know, I moved to Bluffton, South Carolina 2.5 years ago after 40 years in California, and moved me onto the clay courts, which in and of itself has probably added at least 10 years to my tennis career, period. And then when you think about the fact that playing tennis adds 10 years to the average person's life, you say, hey, what's not to love about this game?
So you didn't start this game 5 years ago. When did you start?
I started when I was 10 years old. I'm 62 today. My birthday's today. So when I was 10 years old, I had no idea I would be playing until 62. But I think I would be hoping, because back then I knew a lot of gentlemen that were 62 playing and helping me out. So I knew it was a game for the lifetime, and I'm just happy and blessed that I'm still able to do it physically. So the professionals I idolized were Kenny Rosewall, some of the old Australian players. They were just aging out at that time. And then, of course, it was Jimmy Connors and Chrissy Everett, and then it was John McEnroe and Bjorn Borg, and the list goes on and on. But every generation I follow, and I still watch a lot of Tennis Channel, admire all of them.
What would your life be like without senior tennis?
I don't know where I'd be without tennis. I started playing when my parents played when I was 3, and I've played ever since. And I've had great success. But it's a wonderful, wonderful sport.
It's a lifetime sport,
Yes,
and
it's certainly
you're
a
going
lifetime
beyond
sport.
lifetime limits.
Now, the idea about senior tennis at this age is just health. That's one thing. The social aspect, particularly St. Petersburg here, this is always a great social affair. And as you may have read the statistics, that tennis players have a longer life. And one of the reasons is the social aspect of the game. I have enjoyed watching King so many times in the World Championship. One time I won the consolation in Croatia, and he beat, I think, Pinto Bravo, the number one in no, who did you beat? Altos?
He's too young.
I don't know, but he was always beat the best in the game.
King is the king. So, King, looking back when you first started this game, who were some of your idols?
My first idol was probably my big brother. Whatever he did, I did. He was a wonderful, wonderful brother. He's a good boy, though, and he really took good care of his little brother very well. So he was my first idol. And then, of course, there were good players that Ken Rosewall, Lou Hode. They'd both be probably 91 now, 90 or 91. Rosewall's still alive, but we lost Hode about 20, 25 years ago, or more than that even. It's like saying, hey, could I play Fred Perry and beat him? Sure, I'd beat him. He's dead.
I know.
He's dead.
I knew
I would
that
beat
one.
Perry. I can beat Hode, I can beat Kramer.
Love and love.
Gonzalez. These guys are all dead. I mean, how can you compare one with the other? You can't.
Well, you have to have a sense of humor, and that's probably one of the most important things in life. And when I get beaten, won and loved today by the King, you still have to enjoy it and have fun. And it's a great honor to be alive and play.
At your prime age, every shot is your best shot. Right now, you're a little out of the prime age, but what's still your very, very best shot?
Probably calling heads or tails before the match. I'm better than 50% on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good odds.
Yeah.
So your best shots, your go-to shots.
I can't say I have a good shot anywhere. I just have to be out there running around and.
How do you keep winning then?
Pardon me?
I say, how do you keep winning then?
Well, because I take the game very seriously. When I get out on the court, I don't screw around. When I get on the practice court, I don't screw around. If it's windy, I play. If it's rainy, I play, because you're going to have to put up with these conditions in the tournament. So you better practice it. So my fortitude, I guess, is and my Dutch heritage is probably my strength.
How much is the excitement always going to be with you? Always with the guys that play the senior tour now.
Excitement is to be healthy, move, get the ball. There's a fantastic variety in tennis of different shots, as you probably saw today, the drop shots, and you do it a few times, and I made a point and here and there, and then he gets to it. And the best shot, you ask King what's his best shot. You know what his best shot is?
His hearts?
Is to play the ball where I am not.
King, thank you. I've met you a few times along the way.
Yep.
You're aging.
Okay.
You're aging in reverse, aren't you?
Am I?
I think so. I think so.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks for your interview.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's a great fraternity of guys. I started playing tennis when I was 16. Got
A little late in life, but
little late.
you never got burned out.
No. It's I've done a lot of other sports. I was a college baseball player, college basketball player. I got serious about tennis when I was 27, and after I retired, I started to focus on it more. I still get nervous before I play, while I'm playing, but the atmosphere is great. This has been a terrific tournament, extremely well run by Rick Workman and the facility director, Mike Carroll. I first met Larry, I think, in 2005 at the National Hard Courts in Indian Wells, California. Had a nice talk with him after I lost. He kept me to keep on competing, and always treasured him. The other thing I'd like to give credit to is the National Men's Tennis Association. They're extremely supportive of putting on more tournaments for senior players like myself. Great organization. I've been a member now for several years and plan to be one as long as I can be one. Okay?
Beautiful.
All right,
Excellent.
thank you.
Thanks. Okay. When you were growing up, when you first got into the game, did you pick up any quick idols?
Back in those days, Stan Smith was a heavy dude.
Stan was the man. Yes, he was as all-American as you could find. You know,
Still
he
is, I think.
absolutely is. And you know, he was known for the white leather tennis shoe. His shoe was the first on the market.
Right.
Yeah, Stan Smith.
Probably more money than he made in anything else, you know.
And there's pureness in the game. There was a cyber vision mental program. And whom did they choose to have as the artist of stroking? Stan Smith. So Stan's made a real contribution to our game.
Yeah, no, he clearly has.
So when you're out there, how young do you feel versus a neighbor that's lying on the couch and falling asleep?
You're just more active, you know. I mean, what can I tell you? I mean, just keeps you in shape.
Thanks for sharing your viewpoints of senior tennis
Sure thing.
game of a lifetime.
Sure
Chuck,
thing.
good seeing you.
Good.
Thanks. You were a major contributor. You're loving the game that you promoted all your life. Before that, you were in sales, and you were with the association. What's this game now meaning to you?
Well, I couldn't play tennis when I was working. You know, so after 50 years, I retired in December of 23. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make a commitment to play because I love to play. But in order to do that, I had to get myself in shape. So I've worked out. I got a fitness trainer. I've really worked on my fitness, and so I'm in great shape because I knew that if you're going to come out here and play with these guys, you got to be fit. And if you're not, it's a war of attrition because guys are going to retire. They're going to get injured or whatever. And I said, look, I'm going to make a commitment. And when you retire, you have to have focus. You have to have a purpose. And that's what I'm doing. I got a purpose. My purpose is playing these events. We've had some success. I won my first gold ball in August, which was fantastic on the grass. So I'm loving life. Let me just tell you, I am loving life.
What is sincere motivational talk that is. You've never taken anything less than serious, and you take this seriously right now. The reputation's out there, of course, because of who you've been in tennis. So, looking back, when you were a kid growing up, did you know your career was going to be tennis? How'd you get into the career?
David, it was serendipitous, honestly. I graduated from college, and I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I called my dad up. I said, Dad, I'm going to teach him tennis for a while. So I started teaching tennis in Virginia, got involved with the USTA for the league program. One thing led to another, went down to New Orleans. I just, everything has just sort of fallen in place. You know, it's not like I had some plan. It's not like I knew, okay, after 5 years I'm going to be doing this. No, things just sort of happen. And that's the beauty of the sport is that you know, one door closes and another door opens. And I've had 50 wonderful years of a great career. I mean, how many people can say they've made a living in a sport they've been playing since they were 6? So for me, now I'm playing tennis. Now I'm going back to really playing, and that's the best.
Well, once again, may I applaud you?
Thanks, Dave. Guys, thanks, buddy.
Great to see you.
Great to see you. All the best.
Thank
All
you,
right.
John.
Thanks for all you do.
Arch, what does this circuit of senior tournaments mean to you? What age do you feel you are on that court? And if you weren't on the court, you would be another age.
Well, I definitely feel like being a tennis player and coming out here, I feel young. I feel in my 30s, and I'm inspired by all these older guys in their 80s and 90s now. But I'm being patient. I'm happy to wait another 30 years for that.
No rush on getting older.
No, but it's amazing. I feel healthy. I'm not in pain, so I just feel grateful for that.
What's this circuit mean to you? Larry put it together.
Yeah.
Turville was a real giver to the game. And his dad was part of the Davis Cup. He was a captain a year or two.
This is my first time to St. Pete's. I have been to St. Pete's on vacation, but coming here, it's actually been a lot of fun. And we made it to the finals. We had a chance to win it. We'll come back next year to do that. We have some work to do.
Absolutely. Tom, this is the time of the year where you feel like you're 20 years younger than you actually are. What do these tournaments do to you guys?
Well, it just gives you a chance to compete. It motivates you a little bit. You have to play a little bit harder. But at this point, it's just a lot of fun with a little bit of competition and enjoying the nice weather.
How much fellowship develops out of this? You go at one another fairly hard. You all want to win. Then you're sipping a beer together and smiling, and let's set up some practice matches.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier when you get older. And I think people at that age just want to go out and have a good competitive match. And then, after the match, it's Miller time.
Jack, always great fun catching up with you, but here we are catching up at a world-class event for senior players. What's it mean to bring it to the club? What's it mean to the members to watch some good tennis and be motivated at the same time?
Well, the tournament was forcibly being moved, and we stepped up and were able to put it together. We have a great tournament committee, and once the members came out and watched some good tennis, they've supported it greatly in the last 2 years, and this year was the same way. It was no different. We had a lot of members out watching some good tennis. It's amazing, just the amount of support that they get from their family and friends, and we have people that will fly down to watch from Canada and such. We had people come out from California this year.
Well, this facility is one of the signature facilities in the state of Florida.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a landmark tennis club.
Right.
How proud are you to keep that tradition going and enhancing it with your programs that you've brought in?
Again, I couldn't have asked for a better job to move on from my previous position. I've been able to grow the membership. We've seen more and more people get involved in our board. We've seen an influx of kids coming in from around the area. And that was the goal all along, was to build. And so we've been building. We're not done yet by any means.
I've met so many volunteers that were eager to help make this event a success.
Right. The tournament board earmarks a few people throughout the year for food and beverage, for maintenance, for check-in and such, and those people step up. So again, we're very, very blessed. Very blessed to have the participation that we have here.
Well, Jack, thanks for
Thank you,
having
Dave.
me up.
Always good to see you.
Always, we can go back with many stories.
Yeah.
Let's hit one of those good stories, because you were involved with FARA, the foundation, and you had John Isner out there.
That's right. That's right. I was at Avila Golf and Country Club in Tampa for about 12 years. And when John Isner moved into the neighborhood, he wanted to do an event there with the Avila neighborhood, and we were able to put the FARA event together. And it was hugely successful. Again, a great place that really supports the tennis. You know, and it was fabulous. People would buy opportunities to get his serve back and all kinds of cool stuff. So, and he was a great ambassador to the game for sure.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And then you bring in, who was it? You're not going to believe this, are you? Zverev, and he's 17 years old, and he beats Isner in the exhibition.
Yeah, I do. That's pretty good, huh? Avila had we've had the Davis Cup team there practicing while I was there, and all the different coaches and such. It's a who's who of tennis. The Bryan brothers were there. Jim Courier has relatives that live there, his mother and his sister and family, and so it's neat. It's neat to have that type of environment.
And Blake was involved James and Thomas.
Yeah, James and Thomas were there as well. And, again, it was a very cool opportunity to see some world-class tennis up close.
Well, you and I can both agree on this.
Yeah.
Florida tennis rocks.
Oh, it definitely rocks. Florida tennis rocks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Good to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you, Jack. Wow. How cool is this place?
Yes, this is the St. Pete Tennis Center Museum, and it really is representing our achievements over 100 years. All the greats since the 1920s in tennis have played here, from Rod the Rocket to Arthur Ashe to Billie Jean King. Chris Evert won her first professional championship on these courts.
Let's not forget the guy that was just 60 miles away, Jim Courier.
Jim Courier, yes, he also played here and is the the sponsor of our children's program here called Courier Kids. We're so proud of that. The museum was founded in 2011 with great community support. And it represents not only the history of tennis in St. Petersburg, but also the history of tennis. There's an image here of the original game called real tennis, or
court tennis.
Court tennis. And there are no such places in St. Pete, but you can come here and see an image and what the ball and the rackets, which are a little different than traditional rackets.
Stitched ball.
Stitched balls, core of rubber, and leather outside, stitched by the pro of whatever court is there. There are about 7 such courts in the United States and many more in Europe. Play it into your 70s and 80s and even your 90s. We have 6 90-year-olds playing in this tournament, including King Van Nostrand, one of the greatest senior players in the history of tennis. Hopefully we'll have something about him in the museum from the pictures we've taken this weekend.